Hey everybody, it's Becky. How are you this evening? It is Thursday, August the 3rd, 2023, and it is, I don't know, late o'clock. Pretty sure it's after 10. I don't keep track of such things, although I probably should, because I should be in bed asleep right now so that I can get a good night's rest. However, I have insomnia. If you've never had like long-term insomnia, it's not very fun. So I am up way too late and figured I would jump on here and chit-chat a little bit. I'm still working on the Golden Valley by Chuck Pinson for Diamond Art Club. I am getting very, very close to the end. I have the section that I'm on now. I just kind of cut it in half with my release paper. It's about a 4x6 area, and then off to the, what would be your right, I believe, I've got a strip about 3 or so inches wide the entire way down, the entire side of the canvas. I am zoomed in a little bit. Don't know if you guys will like that or not, but I figured it'd give you a little bit better look at the drill field as I'm placing. So anyways, I've watched, looked like I had several videos today to watch. Lazy Retired Granny was, she was on the ball today. She did all of her house chores and several videos. So that was fun to watch. She's making progress on her, oh goodness, Moonlight in the Garden. Excited to see that one coming together. I'm really impressed with the quality of the drills that I'm seeing from Craftably. As I watch her and DP Crazy Lady work through this canvas, it is an absolutely amazing quality of canvas, and the drills just, I mean, they just snap together. And you know, even with her light pad in the background, you see almost no gapping on those, which is fabulous. I currently am not using a light pad for this particular canvas, this Diamond Art Club canvas. I've been very pleased with the drill field quality. I've been able to see everything well without having to backlight it with my light pad. I do have the ring light overhead, but I do not have a light pad underneath. And I've done very, very well with it. We have a little cat chaos going on at my feet, so if I suddenly yell ouch, it's because I got clawed or bitten. She is being rowdy tonight. Aren't ya? You being rowdy tonight. Anyways, one of the questions that I don't think I answered the other day for DP Crazy Lady, you were asking questions about, you know, what we like and why we like it. So I have fallen into the theme of like animals and nature, wildlife type stuff, as well as florals. I know as I watch people unbox certain pictures, they're not my taste, and you know, to each their own. I don't care for like human faces. That probably sounds really weird, but like, I don't like looking at faces. If we are having a face-to-face conversation, I am probably looking anywhere but your face. If I need to make it look like I'm making eye contact with a person, I'm usually watching either their mouth or their nose. I rarely look a person in the eyes. It's just very uncomfortable for me. Always has been. So I've just always found ways around it. So there's a lot of really cute paintings out there that I really like the art style of them, but I don't like the subject because they have human faces in them. So for me, I stick with the natures and the florals, and try to avoid anything that looks too humanoid. I'm sure that probably sounds weird to people who don't have weird issues like me. I don't know what that issue is referred to as, but yeah, I don't like looking at faces. That can actually make it really hard for me to recognize people, unfortunately. If I'm out and about and, you know, see somebody at the grocery store and it's like, I feel like I should know this person, but like I can't put my finger on who they are. It's because I don't typically look at their face. And so like if I know them from their work setting and they're dressed in a way that does not match their work setting, I am likely not to recognize them. Even people that I have known for years and years and years, and you would think I could point them out of a crowd, no problem. Nope. It's just one of those weird things. I don't like looking at faces. So, for me, I will stick with things that don't have people faces. Like I said, I'm okay with animals. I'm okay with, like, if it's like the silhouettes, the Disney silhouettes that have been out, I really like those because you don't get a lot of facial detail in them. It's just the profile or whatever. And I'm totally okay with that. But some of the, like there's a painting on, I think it's Craftably, that I absolutely adore the setting. It's like this little fairy character setting, and I believe it's a sunflower with some pumpkins or something. Super, super cute. I could never paint it because it's got a person in it. So, I know, I'm weird. Welcome to my wonderful weird world. Let's see here. What other weird things can you learn about me tonight? With insomnia, the more tired I am, the worse I am about singing random songs. And it's never a good song, and it's never a full song. Very often it's old vacation Bible school songs. So of course, anytime I have those going through my head and I'm around a friend, I make sure to share. Let's see here. I actually once made a doctor run away from me screaming because he was like, "Hey, you're looking kind of down in the dumps today. What's going on? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I've got a song stuck in my head." And he's like, "Oh, that can't be that bad. What is it?" And so I started singing the song, and he ran away screaming. Turns out he had a 4-year-old, and it was The Height of Baby Shark. And that was the song that I could not get out of my head. So yeah, that was a fun little day. After that, he never asked me what song was stuck in my head again. That was back in the days when I worked at a hospital, and I passed doctors in the hallways all the time and would stop and chit chat with them. And he, like I said, he never again asked me what song was stuck in my head. So, let's see. I just watched Diamonds with Tita, and she was telling about the story of a dog that they adopted from an animal shelter. one of my cousins has kind of a crazy story similar to that. They had rescued a dog off the streets, and had gotten it healthy, and then they adopted it out to a family. And they had an agreement with the family that should they ever, for any reason, need to give up the dog, no questions asked, just bring the dog back to them. Apparently I need some fresh wax here. So, they adopt this dog out to these people that they thought would be a good match. And life went on. Well, a couple years later, they happened to be looking through a Facebook website or something for one of the local rescues, and they see a dog. They're like, this looks an awful lot like that dog that we adopted out. And they got to looking more and more at it, and they were like, yeah, we adopted that dog out. That's the dog. And so they contacted the rescue that had this dog and explained the story, and they're like, we are more than happy to pay the adoption fees, whatever. We want the dog back. If we had known that they were going to give it up, we wouldn't have adopted it to those people. And so the rescue, of course, they wanted their money, which was reasonable. So my cousin and his wife paid the adoption fee, and they got their dog back. And they called her Annie Banani. Lived out the rest of her days with them for many, many, many years. And lived happily ever after. So it's amazing how even after all those years, having been through who knows what, after having been adopted out to another family, this dog came back to them, and she knew her place. She remembered their house and their cats, and she just jumped right back into being part of the family. So my first dog, we had a gentleman who came and mowed our lawn when I was a kid and we lived in town. He came in, he mowed our lawn. One day he had this white, fluffy, curly-haired dog with him. He said she was a poodle. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, he was like, hey, I really need somebody to take this dog on, and all the people that I've mowed for today have said they can't take it. And so we took the dog. And lo and behold, she ended up being pregnant. So, I don't remember if she was pregnant when she came or if she got pregnant after we got her or what. I don't remember exactly how or when that happened. I was like 3 or 4 years old. So I was probably about 4, because I remember the dog. So I don't think I was much younger than 4. Anyway, so we take care of this dog. She has her puppies. And Mom says we have to adopt out all of them except for one. You can either choose to keep the mama dog, or you can keep one of the puppies, but you cannot keep more than one. And so we ended up keeping one of the puppies. Apparently they were whatever she was mixed with weenie dog. And so he was this little black weenie dog, and just sweet as could be to any kids that were around, which is good because our backyard was always full of kids. Literally every single one on the entire west side of our town. Every day. Well, most every day. And pretty much all day Saturday and Sundays. So this dog got along great with kids, but he could not tolerate adult males. The one exception to that was the gentleman who mowed our lawn. He would allow that gentleman in the backyard to mow. I guess he kind of knew the dog probably understood, how he came about being in his happy home there. So any other male that tried to come anywhere near our backyard caught the wrath of Scamper, which anybody who knows a weenie dog knows that they can be very vicious. They were originally bred to go into badger holes, and so they can be very, very vicious and very relentless. And so yeah, this dog did not let any adult male in our backyard other than the guy who mowed the lawn. My dad's friends would come over. They could not come in the backyard. Didn't matter if they were there every single day of the week. They were not allowed in the backyard. They could go to the garage with my dad. They could go in the house. They were not allowed in the backyard. And so me and Scamper, every day when I started kindergarten, this was back in like 88, 89-ish, that I was starting kindergarten, and we did half-day kindergarten. And so I was home all morning, and then I went to school in the afternoons. And so before I would leave for school, Scamper and I would sit on top of his doghouse, and I would spoon feed him a can of dog food. He would not eat canned food out of his dish. He had to be spoon fed. He would eat dry food out of his bowl, no problem, but wet food had to be hand fed. And he also did not like clean drinking water. It did not matter how many times a day you dumped out his water bowl and gave him fresh water, he would not drink it. He would have to relieve himself in the water before he would drink it. So I would watch him do this, and I would clean out his water dish, and I would give him fresh, and he would not mess with it. He would urinate in it again, and then he would drink it. And you know, the veterinarian said he was probably missing some sort of something in his diet which would cause him to do that kind of a thing. I've never had another animal in my life that did that, and I've been around a lot of animals. So I don't know what it was that he was missing in his diet, but something. Scamper, like I said, he was my first real dog. Like I said, we had his mom, but I never really connected to her because we chose to keep one of the puppies instead of keeping her. So we only had her for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months or so, I think. But then we moved out to the country and ended up with, you know, lots more dogs, cats. I always helped at the neighbors' barns. So I was around a lot of horses growing up, lots of sheep. I do not like sheep. Love goats, hate sheep. Let's see here. So what question can I pose to you for your next whip and chat? Let's talk about what is your favorite treat? Are you a cookie person, a cake person, ice cream? Do you do candy bars? And how has that changed from, you know, your younger days to now? Especially like DP Crazy Lady, I know that you're diabetic, so you don't eat probably nearly as many sweets as you used to, but what's your go-to treat when you want something sweet? That's the question I'm posing to everybody for their next whip and chat. Let's see here. I did get my hotel rooms and show tickets booked for this weekend for my friend and I to go out of town. I was kind of waiting, hoping that my new credit card would come in the mail. I recently updated my credit card, and I was hoping to be able to book it on the new credit card since I would earn miles. But it's not scheduled to get here until Saturday, and we're leaving out tomorrow night. So, a little Oklahoma trivia. One of the places that we'll be stopping along our route just to grab a bite to eat for dinner, there is a McDonald's over top of the turnpike. On the Will Rogers Turnpike is where this is located. The building used to be known as the Glass House, and it is positioned, it's a big arch, it's positioned across the turnpike, and you go up in it and you can actually sit there and eat and watch the cars and trucks pass underneath you. During their last remodel, they put a statue of Will Rogers in the window, looking out over the turnpike, waving at you as you go by. If you are not familiar with this statue, it does not look like a statue when you're driving by at 80 miles an hour. I'm sure more than a few people have probably been freaked out by this statue standing above the highway. But back in its heyday when it was known as the Glass House, my great-grandmother used to make pies for them. She would also write articles for the local newspaper. In later days, my now mother-in-law worked in the Glass House as a waitress. And yes, back then they were called waitresses. They weren't called servers, they were waitresses. And so she served at the Glass House, and my great-grandmother worked at the Glass House. They didn't cross paths. They were there at two different times in history. So my husband's granny and his family, they do know some of my family that's up in that area, but they weren't like super close. Their generations kind of passed each other age-wise. So but yeah, they were familiar with each other. I'm on some really slippery glue spots here. Anyways, so yeah, we will stop now inside this place, which is, it's no longer known as the Glass House. Now it's just the McDonald's on the turnpike, which isn't even really just a McDonald's anymore. They have a little gift shop in there, and which the gift shop will be closed when I go through there, so I won't be able to grab anything, but they have both a McDonald's and a Subway up in the upper portion above, and then down below in each leg, I guess you would call it, is Come and Go, which is a gas station. And so it's morphed and changed a lot over the years since I was a kid and my husband's mom was a kid and things like that, but it's been around for a very long time. From there, we will stay in Springfield, Missouri, which is, a little over a 2-hour drive from my house. 2 hours and 15 minutes-ish, not terribly far. And we'll stay kind of at the north side of Springfield, and in the morning, Saturday morning, we'll get up and we will make our way through Springfield. There's some quilt shops there that we like to visit and have not been to for quite some time. So we will stop at those, hopefully not blow our entire budget. They're very budget-friendly quilt shops though, which is why we like it. However, my friend, there's one of the quilt shops in Branson that we'll go to. She has never been to it. I've taken her to Branson before, and so she's seen one of the big quilt shops, but she's not seen the other big quilt shop. So Saturday, like I said, we'll hit a couple places in Springfield, and then we will make our way to Branson, and we'll see. Saturday night we'll be seeing a play, and then Sunday we'll just be kind of piddling around on our way home, whatever shopping we decide to do. The quilt shops typically are not open on Sundays, so we'll you know, clothes shopping. We might decide to get pedicures. We may, there's a gajillion things in Branson to do. So if we decide to do anything super fun, I will see if I can't get some videos to upload, maybe just some shorts along the way. And that way you guys can kind of see where we are, what we're doing, and kind of live, for those of you who don't get to travel or choose not to travel, you can kind of live vicariously through me, because I do absolutely love traveling. It's one of my favorite things to do, and I hope that I never get tired of traveling. I am tired of like working with the general public, so I don't want to like be out in public working anymore. I'm very, very pleased with the whole work from home situation, but I definitely still enjoy getting out to travel and have fun experiences. So you guys can come along with and see what we've got going on. I know one of the questions that's been asked recently is, how long do people have before they get to retire? Unfortunately, that's a big number for me. I will be 40 in February of next year, 24. So I still have a few more years of working unless I hit the lottery. Unfortunately, I have been told that you have to buy a ticket to have a chance at the lottery, and that's something I rarely do. So I don't plan on hitting the lottery. That is not my retirement plan. But if anybody knows the winning numbers for the next time we hit like that $1 billion jackpot, let me know and I'll go buy a ticket. My plans for when I retire, I obviously would love to be able to travel lots, and be that going on more cruises, or going to, I really enjoy all-inclusive resorts as well, because with the all-inclusive resort you don't have to think about like your meal plans and things like that. So yes, it feels a little more pricey up front, but when you stop and think about how much you are getting to eat while you're there, because it's, you know, they have unlimited buffets or like unlimited specialty restaurants and things like that, or at least the one that we went to last summer, it was totally unlimited even in the specialty restaurants. So we definitely enjoyed getting to get our money's worth from the unlimited food. And it was, you know, it was really good quality food too. It wasn't just buffet food. So cruising and all-inclusive resorts are where it's at if you do want to travel at some point. So that is my 30 minutes. I hope to see some comments on, what you're working on and what you enjoy doing as far as your themes of your paintings. And like I said, I will keep you guys updated over the weekend, even if it's in just a couple of little shorts or what have you. You guys have a great night and a great weekend. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.